Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet a boutique daisy. This is a pretty and easy flower to crochet, and then I've topped it off with a handmade button and some ribbon leaves. I also have one in pink here to show you. So for this project, you'll need a 6mm J crochet hook, a tapestry needle, a pair of scissors, one button for each flower that you make, some ribbon, and some yarn. The yarn I used is just some cotton dishcloth yarn that I had on hand, but you can use any yarn you like, and if you do choose a different yarn, just check the yarn label for the recommended hook size for your yarn. And this is worsted weight, so if you go up in thickness, you will get a larger flower. And the ribbon I use, this is just some grosgrain ribbon. And the button I chose is, this is a button that I made myself. It's a fabric covered button, and I'll provide the link for that tutorial, but you can make your own buttons with some leftover fabric you may have on hand. So let's get started. The finished flower measures about 2 inches across, and then we'll be adding some ribbon to the end, which makes it a little bit wider, but the flower itself is about 2 inches across. We're going to begin by crocheting the flower part first. So what you're going to do is put a slip knot on the hook, wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop, bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your crochet hook, bring up the loop, and tighten. Next, you're going to chain 6. To make a chain, wrap the yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In the chain farthest from your hook, you're going to insert the hook and join with a slip stitch. So insert the hook, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. We now have the ring that we're going to be working all the stitches into. This tail here, we will hold along the edge. That will weave that in as we go along. Okay, so this is a 6-petaled flower, and each petal is a double crochet, treble crochet, double crochet, and in between each petal is a slip stitch. Okay, so we're going to be working all of those stitches into the center of the ring. To make a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert it into the ring, bring up a loop. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. Then we'll make a treble crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook 2 times, insert it into the center of the ring, bring up a loop. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops. Split a little, there we go. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. Next, we'll work another double crochet to finish our petal, same way we did before. And if you need to push these back, that's fine because we're going to be working a lot of stitches into the center. To finish off our petal, insert the hook into the center, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook, and that will finish that first petal off. Next, we'll work on our second petal. We're going to be doing this for a total of 6 times to get 6 petals. So double crochet, treble crochet, and you can again push that back, and a double crochet. And then to finish that petal, a slip stitch. Okay, so our second petal is complete. We can unwrap this a little bit. Okay, next petal. Work a double crochet, treble crochet, double crochet, and you can push that back if you need to, and then a slip stitch to finish that petal. Petal 3 is complete. Let's move to the next petal. Again, we're going to work a double crochet, a treble crochet, push that back if you need to, double crochet, and then to finish the petal, a slip stitch once again. We now have 4 petals. Just get some more yarn here. 4 petals on our flower. We're doing a 6-petaled flower. So double crochet, treble crochet, push that back if you need to, and a double crochet to finish that petal, and a slip stitch. Now we're ready to work the 6th and final petal of our flower. So again, double crochet, treble crochet, and push that back, get some more yarn, and a double crochet. Okay, work a slip stitch to finish that petal off, and then you're going to work a slip stitch in the petal that you began with to join and close the round. This flower is worked in one round. Okay, so your flower is complete. It's very quick to make. You can fasten off the yarn and then fasten off with your hook. Okay, now it looks a little bit open and lumpy, and we're going to fix all that. So take your tail, go ahead and pull that to close that hole up as much as you can. And it'll still leave a hole in the center. We're going to be putting a button in the center anyway, so it'll close that. But then you'll want to kind of go ahead and straighten out all of these pretty petals that you worked on. Get everything nice and straight. And there is a hole in the center, and that's fine. Okay, so we're next going to, we wove that center piece in and trimmed it. And then you're going to thread your tapestry needle. With the other tail, and then flip your flower over to the back, and then you're just going to weave that in. Go ahead and pull that through. Get that nice and snug. Now when you give that a tug, it'll kind of pull that, draw that in a little bit to give your petal a little more definition and kind of get rid of that knot. So just straighten everything out, and then we're ready to assemble our flower. Now again, our flower has the crocheted flower, the button, and the 2 ribbon leaves. So what you're going to need is some, I glued mine together. You can use fabric glue or you can use hot glue. I'm going to use hot glue in this tutorial. Or you can take a needle and thread and just sew your flower together. So what you'll need to put your flower together is the flower you've just made with all the ends woven in. You'll need your button. You can use any button. Again, the fabric button tutorial will be at the top of this. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of ribbon, each measuring 4 inches long for each leaf. Now if you want to, you can also add 4 leaves to your flower, go all the way around. It's totally up to you. We're going to do 2 just to show you, but you can add more, or you can only have 1 leaf if you want it to look like that. So we're going to go ahead and assemble our flower. To assemble the flower, just take some glue, and this is, if you're using hot glue, the stuff is messy and very hot, so be very, very careful. I just like to give it a little spin like that just to get those little excess pieces off. And then just drop your button right on there. Let that totally cool and set up. And then to do the leaves, the technique I did, it's kind of like a loop that lays a little bit flat and makes a point sort of like a leaf. So all you're going to do is take your ribbon and fold both pieces inward, just like this. Make kind of a loop. Now flip it over, and then where those two pieces join here, just flip one of these pieces down and put a little tiny dot of glue. You only need a teeny tiny bit for this. Hot glue sticks very, very well to yarn and fabric and ribbon, so you only need a little bit. Okay, and I just kind of, not squeezed it because it'll ooze out, just kind of tap it like that. Okay, so that's one leaf, and I'll show you that again. Take the two ends and fold them towards you, then flip it over. Now just put where they meet up, just put a little tiny drop of glue. Again, you don't need a lot at all. And then just lay that down, just like that. Now let those set up a little bit. And then what you'll do is take your flower, and I just did mine on either side. You can do them kind of like how leaves grow on a blossom, sort of like that too. Or you can put them on either side like I did. Okay, so what you're gonna do is flip your flower over, and then on this part here, just put another drop of glue. Again, you don't need a lot. And then just flip your flower over and kind of figure out where you want it to go. Like that. And flip it back over and just give it a little tap to hold that glue in. Okay, so it looks just like that. And then just do the same for the other leaf. Flip that over, get it in the right position. You can kind of wiggle it around a little bit till the glue sets up. Hot glue dries pretty quick and it cools off pretty quick too. Okay, so that is our flower. Now what you're going to want to do is just set this aside for about 5 minutes or so. And just let that cool off and totally dry. So I've allowed my flowers to dry and they're all ready to go. Now you can use these flowers as an applique. You can put them on a barrette or a pin, or I have a headband here. You could put them on a headband and make a really beautiful little headband for someone special. And that's it. That's how you crochet the boutique daisy. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.